And we're back. At least we should be back. Yes, looks like everything's up and running. And we'll just save and move forward to the trial. I love the trials. The trials are bar none the best part of this game. September 7th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 1. Rabble, 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 rabble. The court is now in session for the trial of Miss Maya Fey. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Miles Edgeworth, I better not show any signs of weakness today, or he'll be on me in an instant. Mr. Edgeworth, please give the court your opening statement. Thank you, Your Honor. The defendant, Miss May, was at the scene of the crime. The prosecution has evidence that she committed this murder. Oops, wrong button. I'm just making sure that, okay, we're recording. Sorry, I've got to obsessively, compulsively double check. The prosecution has evidence she committed this murder, and we have a witness who saw her do it. The prosecution sees no reason to doubt the facts in this case, Your Honor. I see. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Let's begin then. You may call your first witness. The prosecution calls the chief officer at the scene, Detective Gumshoe. Or Gumtree, however you want to say it. Witness, please state your name and profession to the court. Sir, name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. The detective in charge of homicides down at the precinct, sir. Detective Gumshoe, please describe for us the details of this murder. Very well, sir. Let me use this floor map in the office to explain. The body was found by the window here. And the cause of death? Loss of blood being due to struck with a blunt object, sir. The murder weapon was a statue of the Thinker found next to her body. It was heavy enough to be a deadly weapon, even in a girl's hands, sir. The court accepts the statue into evidence. They're still calling it a statue. Floor plans added to court record. Now, detective. Yes, sir. You immediately arrested Miss Fey, who was found at the scene, correct? Can you tell me why? Yes, sir. I had hard evidence she done it, sir. Detective Gumshoe, please testify to the court about this hard evidence. Witness testimony. Mia Fey's arrest. As soon as the phone call came in, I rushed to the scene. There were 2 people there already. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey. Why? Well, we had a witness account describing her. The witness saw Miss Maya Fey at the very moment of the murder. The very moment, you say? Very well, Mr. Wright. You may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examine what? I couldn't see a single contradiction in that testimony. Whoosh. Smack. Hey, Mia just threw something at me. What's this? When my sister couldn't find any contradictions in the witness's testimony, she would just bluff and press the witness on every detail. The witness always slips up and says something wrong. It worked lots of times. Heh, I should have expected Maya would know some of her sister's tricks. Alright, let's give this a try. Something the matter? No, Your Honor. I'd just like to begin my cross-examination. As soon as the phone call came in, I rushed to the scene. Who did you say you got a call from? Hey pal, don't play dumb. You know who. The call was from a customer at the Gatewater Hotel. Sorry. Obviously, Watergate. Anyway. For some reason that just hit me now. I don't know why. Anyway, right across from the crime scene. Okay, I pressed. I'm pretty sure it didn't do much though. Right, please continue. There are 2 people there already. Detective Gumshoe, how long would you say it took between you receiving the call and your arrival at the scene of the crime? I'm right, I'd say it was about 3 minutes. That's pretty fast. Our motto this month is quick response. That's how I got there before the killer got away. Indeed. So, tell us who are these 2 people you found on the scene? Yes, sir. The defendant, Miss May Fey, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Are you absolutely sure it was us? Listen, pal, your dumb act is only going to get you so far. With your funky hippie clothes and your spiky hair, the two of you stand out like suspicious people at a crime scene. Well, he does have a point about her. She is pretty unmistakable. I should pick my points to press with a little bit more care. No, there's almost never any repercussions for pressing. So basically you should just press everything all the time. And learn as much as you can. Sorry, I got a text message from my friend and she's like, "Are you liking Skyrim?" And I posted a Facebook status today that was like, "I'm pretty sure nothing in the world exists anymore except Skyrim." So yes, I'm quite enjoying it. I think I've changed my mind. Right now I'd say, right now Skyrim and The Witcher 2 are equal. They're neck and neck. I mean, been playing. Sorry. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna say I've been playing more of Skyrim, and it's really opening up, and I'm enjoying it more and more. Anyway, I immediately arrested Miss Mia Fey, or Maya Fey. Why is that? What's the reason? Why we had a witness account describing her? Excuse me. Hold on, just 1 second. Yeah? If I heard correctly, you said you arrested her because you had hard evidence she did it. Correct? Did I say that? Me? I heard you say it. You did say it. You said it. Exactly what about the suspicious woman in Pink's claim was hard evidence? What? Miss May isn't suspicious, and she sure isn't Pink, pal. Well, I guess she is Pink. That's enough, Detective Gumshoe. You have any more solid proof than her claims, Detective? I guess pressing can have its advantages. Yes. Gah. Sorry, I got the order of things mixed up in my testimony, Your Honor, sir. There was something I should have told you about first, Your Honor. Very well, Detective. Let's hear what your testimony again. Hard evidence. After securing the suspect, I examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. I found a memo written on a piece of paper next to the victim's body. On it, it said the word Maya was clearly written in blood. Lab testing results showed that the blood was the victim's. Also, there was blood found on the victim's finger. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. How do you like that? That's my hard evidence. Before we begin cross-examination, I have a question for you, Detective. Yes, Your Honor? Why didn't you testify about that vital evidence the first time? I know. I'm real embarrassed I forgot about it, Your Honor, sir. Try to be more careful. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. After securing the suspect, I examined the scene of crime with my own eyes. And did you find any evidence? Now, don't jump the gun on me, pal. Just listen, I'm getting to the good part. I got a bad feeling about this. I found a memo written on a piece of paper lying next to the victim's body. Just because you found it next to the victim's body doesn't mean the victim wrote it. Oh, then who did write it, Mr. Smarty Pants? Well, who? I did. It could have been me. What? So it was you? No. I'm just saying it could have been me. Could you prove it wasn't? Hold on. So you admit to this? You admit that you wrote the note? Listen to me, Mr. Wright. This is a court of law, and I expect you to refrain from making thoughtless statements. Amateur. Well, Detective, why don't you tell us what was written on that memo you found? Hold on. Okay. Anyway. I think I have to go back and choose a different option, but I might be wrong. Do you have proof it was Mia who wrote that? Of course I do, pal. Uh-oh. You sounded pretty confident. This might not be so good. the lab results showed that the blood was the victim's. What kind of test were these again? Oh, what kind? I hear they take the little bits of blood and her hemoglobs, hermogoblin boblin. I refuse to testify in this matter, sir. I'm no expert on blood tests. Yes, that was quite clear. You may continue with your testimony. Thanks, pal. I mean, Your Honor, sir. Detective Gumshoe. Yeah? I think you can expect a pleasant bonus in your next paycheck. Oh. That was a mess. Right. Where was I now? There was also blood found on the victim's finger. On which hand was the bloody finger, detective? The right hand. She was right-handed. Ha, nice try. Uh-oh. I guess it wasn't too hard to see what I was getting at there. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. Detective Gumshoe. Do you get a lot of cases where the victim actually writes the killer's name? Sure, it happens all the time in books and movies. This isn't a movie, detective. Oof. Let's talk about reality, shall we? I guess I haven't heard of many cases, no. Do you find it a little odd that the victim would write down a name, especially the name of her own sister? Yeah, actually, you got a point, pal. I like Edgeworth's objection. It's very dignified. Stop right there. The witness's opinion on the matter is irrelevant. The facts are clear. The victim wrote down a name of the accused. The victim told us the name of her killer. Order. That didn't go so well. That's right. What he said. I think there was a... I think there's a different option I have to choose here. No, that was the wrong one. The killer could have written it. The killer, anyone can see that. Oh, you're saying the killer wrote her own name, buddy? Please. She was framed. Hold on. If that's the case, then where's your evidence? I guess that was a bit of a tall order of you. Those without evidence shouldn't open their mouths, Mr. Wright. Yeah, pal. Detective, let's tell. Okay, I'm gonna try that one more time and choose the last option and see if I'm missing something here. Miss May. Well, it could have been the witness, Miss May. Hold on. The witness was in her hotel room, not in the office. Try pulling the other leg, Mr. Wright? Yeah, and while you're at it, pull mine too, pal. Well, detective, what was written on the memo you found? Word mile was written clearly in blood. That's his self-testimony. Okay, there has to be a contradiction there somewhere. Let's find it. Well, I know at some point, because if we look at our court record, the autopsy is that Mia died instantaneously. Oh, okay, let's go to the end. I think he said something. Before she died, the victor wrote the killer's name. Okay, there we go.
Objection!
Detective Gumshoe, there's one thing I want you to clarify for me here. You say that the victim, Mia Fey, wrote this note. That she was accusing the defendant, Mia Fey. That's really what you're saying? What? This isn't one of those lawyer tricks, is it now? Of course, she wrote it. Who else could have? You have it backwards, detective. Backwards? The victim is the only person who could have absolutely not written it. This is a report from the department, detective. Immediate death due to a blow from a blunt object. She died immediately. But no butting your way out of this one, detective. Order, order. The defense has a point. Someone who died immediately wouldn't have the time to write anything down. Mr. Wright, I beg your pardon, but when exactly did you obtain that autopsy report? What, when? It's the day after the murder? It's the day after the murder. The prosecution's point being? That autopsy report is outdated, Your Honor. What? A second autopsy report was performed yesterday at my request. By the way, have you ever tried holding paper like that? I tried doing that. It's not easy. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Anyway. The death was almost immediate. Due to a blow from the blunt object. But there is a possibility the victim lived for several minutes after the blow. I received these results this morning. No way! Your Honor, it's quite easy to imagine the victim had the time to write down Maya. God damn it. That is all. I see. Damn you, Edgeworth. I should have known that you have something up your sleeve. Why, Mr. Wright, you look shocked. Something you want to say? You're a sham, Edgeworth. The detective's a sham. It's a sham! Detective Gumshoe, are you calling me a fool because I believed your report? Me? No, I'm not. Detective Gumshoe. I'm disappointed in you, handing him the wrong report like that. I'm sorry, sir. You're at fault, Detective. This isn't gonna look so good on your evaluation next month. What? But... Your Honor, I submit this report to the court. Understood. The court accepts the evidence. Autopsy report updated in the court record. Well, Your Honor, the evidence strongly suggests the victim was identifying the killer. I suppose that's the obvious conclusion, yes? Darn, this isn't good. The prosecution would like to call this next witness, the poor, innocent girl that saw the murder with her own eyes. Let the witness, Miss April May, take the stand. Exactly what part of her is innocent? Witness, your name, please. April May. At your service, wink. Order. An introduction should not require a reaction from the crowd. The witness will refrain from wanton winking. Aw, yes, Your Honor. This is not good. She's already captured the heart of every man in the court. Tell us, where were you on the night of September 5th, when the murder occurred? Gee, I was, in my hotel room, teehee. I checked in right after lunch. This hotel is directly across from Fainco law offices. That's right, big boy. Please testify to the court what you saw. Witness testimony, witness's account. It was like 9 at night, and I looked out the window, you know. Then there was I saw a woman with long hair being attacked. The one attacking her was the mousy girl sitting in the defendant's chair. Then the woman dodged to one side and ran away. But the girl, she caught up with her and she hit her. Then the woman with long hair, she kinda slumped. The end. That's all I saw. Every little bitsy witsy wink. Well, Your Honor. I see. It is a remarkably solid testimony. I don't see a need to trouble the witness any... Wait, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright? What about my cross-examination? I thought the witness's testimony, right now was quite firm. Don't you? Mr. Wright, I understand you were Mr. Fay's understudy, were you not? You must know her techniques well. Her cowardly way of finding tiny faults in perfectly good testimonies. Hey, how dare you? Oh, Mr. Wright, will you cross-examine the witness? Yes, I'm doing it. I'm not going to take a risk. I'll gladly proceed with the cross-examination. If only because I have a feeling Edgeworth doesn't want me to. She must have some weakness. Very well, you may begin the cross-examination. Cross-examination, witness's account. It was like 9 at night. Oh, well, you can read that. I'll just press her. Hard. Long. What did you... Why did you do that? Huh? Why, like, why what? Why'd you look out the window? Were you expecting to see something? Gee. What, that's it? She couldn't think... She can't get out of the question that easily. I sorta, you know... I had a feeling. Well, I have a feeling she's trying to avoid the question. Maybe I should press her a little harder on this one. I think you should. Let's see how far I can run with this. Surely you must have had a reason to look out the window at the time of night. Mr. Wright, I will not have you badgering my witness. Badgering? You insist on needling her with these trivial questions. I really don't think it should be allowed. Yeah, stop 'em. This is the crowd, by the way. The poor girl. Order. Mr. Wright, you've been warned. Poor girl? What about poor me? You looked out the window, and what'd you see next? I saw a woman with long hair being attacked. The woman with long hair, that was Mia Fey. Uh-huh. Slender, sort of, well, some people might say pretty, if that's your thing. Your thing? And the person attacking her? The one attacking her was the mousy girl sitting in the defendant's chair. How do you know she was the defendant? Huh? Well, you know, she had a girlish physique. Women know these things. Look, I just know, okay? There was only one person at the scene of the crime with a short, girlish figure. Testimony is bulletproof, Your Honor. He's right. I question the testimony. Hold on a minute! That testimony stinks. What? Miss May, I'm willing to bet that you're lying. Are you telling the truth? Did you really see the defendant? Here. Mr. Wright, what's the meaning of this? Yes, what's the meaning? Somebody tell me, because I'm clueless about this, I mean. Okay. If you had really witnessed my client, Mia Fey, you would have noticed her clothes before noticing her physique. No one wears clothes like this on a daily basis, except her. I'm no expert on fashion, but her hairdo looks far from normal to me. However, the witness's testimony mentions neither of these things. The testimony is bogus. But still, we don't know if she was dressed up that way every night on the night of the murder. She was, Your Honor. I saw her. So did Detective Gumshoe. What do you say to that, Miss May? Rawr. What are you trying to say, you mean lawyer? I saw what I saw. I just didn't think the trifling details were necessary, darling. Miss May, the court would like to remind you to please omit nothing from your testimony. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'll be a good girl, I promise. Wink. Your testimony again, if you would. Damn, I almost had her. Witness testimony, witness account. I did see everything. I did. The victim, the woman, dodged the first attack and ran off to the right. The girl in the hippie clothes ran after her. And then she hit her with that weapon. I saw it. I did. That clock. Kind of statuey clock. The thinker, I think. Well, does the accuracy of the report not startle you? Tee-hee? I see. Only wish you'd been so detailed from the beginning. Please begin the cross-examination. Cross-examination witness's account. I did see everything. I did. No, wait, I'm going to press that. I have to press everything. Press it. So, you saw me then too? Of course. I remember that spiky hair anywhere. Spiky. The witness will refrain from personal attacks on the defense attorney. Aw, was I a bad girl? I'm sorry. Very well, please continue. The victim, the woman, dodged the first attack and ran off to the right. Is that right as in your right, when you observed from the hotel? Which hand do I hold my knife in again? Right, it was my right hand, right? Satisfied, Mr. Wright? Please continue. Then the girl in hippie clothes ran after her. How convenient for you to remember the hippie clothes. That's what she was wearing. Oh, and her hair was all done up like a bun. Sigh. What happened then? She then hit her with that weapon. I saw it, I did. Where did this weapon come from? She picked it up from the desk. See, what sort of weapon was it? That clock, that statue-y clock, the thinker, I think. Clock? Didn't this come up in another testimony recently? What? Don't look so sour, Mr. Lawyer. You can't win them all. No, but I got a feeling I'm onto something now. Let's see if I should present this, the thinker. Murder weapon. Looks like a statue, but it's made by a clock. I can't remember if I'm supposed to present this now or later, because I know I'm supposed to present some other stuff later. Let's roll with it, see what happens.
Objection!
Okay, I was right. Miss May, what you said just now, it's quite revealing. Revealing? Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? Naughty Mr. Lawyer. You just said that this statue of the thinker was a clock. But there's no way of knowing that just by looking at it. Another person in the same position as you two recently called this a clock. And he was found guilty of murder. Order! Order! Miss May, can you explain how you know this was a clock? Oh. The witness saw the murder with her own eyes. That's all that's important here. The defense is trying to confuse the issue with trivial concerns. Yes, of course. You will withdraw your question, Mr. Wright. But the question I have... questions are all I have, Your Honor. As you may recall, I caught murderers before with these questions. Well, only once. Objection sustained. You may continue to question the witness. Phew, that was so close. If you stopped me there, the trial would be over. Huh? What? So what happens now? What happens now is you answer my question. How did you know it was a clock? What? That's... because I heard it? Yes, I heard it heard it say the time. So, you've recently been to the law offices of Fay & Co.? No, hey, I didn't say that. Why would I go there? I heard it from my hotel room, hee hee. The law offices of Fay & Co., where the murder took place, are very close to the hotel. You could have easily heard the clock. Well, Mr. Wright, are you satisfied? No, Your Honor. I can't give up now. I'm not satisfied because... it couldn't have rung. Your Honor, members of the court, it is inconceivable that the clock in question rang. Because it's empty. Because the clock is missing the clockwork. How could you possibly... just have a look as soon as you can. Oh, see anything interesting, Your Honor? It's as the defense says, this clock is missing its clockwork. It's quite empty. Mr. Wright, would you care to explain to the court the meaning of this? It is, as you could see, the clock was empty. It couldn't have rung. Therefore, this witness is a big fat liar. Like you can see her face twitching. Fat? Well, Miss May. Uh-oh. Tisk, tisk. Whenever Edgeworth makes that face, you know, shit's gonna hit the fan. Quite a show you've put on for us, Mr. Wright. He knew the clock was empty somehow. He knew. I'm afraid you've forgotten one thing, however. Indeed, the clock is empty. As you say, it can't ring. However, we must ask, when was the clockwork removed? If it was after the witness heard the clock, then there is no contradiction. This is true. That is a possibility. The clock might have been emptied after she heard it. That is exactly what happened, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, can you prove when the clockwork was removed? Oh, impossible, of course. I have proof. What? Sorry, I'm just getting really into this. Wasn't it you that told me that proof is everything? Well, I was listening. And now I'll show you the proof you like so much. The evidence that proves the clockwork was missing is the cell phone conversation. We can check to listen to it, just so you could, you know, basically, yes. Papers were removed, remember, at the start of the case. They removed the papers, blah blah blah. Anyway, take a look at this. That's a very cute cell phone. Ooh, ho, you have a girly phone. Wait, it's not, this isn't my phone. Listen. This is the defendant's cell phone, and it contains a recording. A recording of a conversation she had with the victim on the day of the murder. Order. The defendant's cell phone? This wasn't brought to my attention. Perhaps Detective Gumshoe overlooked it. Rumble. The good detective better remember he's up for evaluation soon. My heart goes out to you, Edgeworth. Not. Let's hear the conversation. Beep. So you just want me to hold onto the thinker for you then? If you could. I should probably tell you the clock isn't talking right now. Huh? It's not working? That's lame. I had to take the clockwork out, sorry. Your Honor, I think this recording makes it clear that the clockwork was already gone. And this was recorded in the morning before the witness even arrived at her hotel. Well, Miss May, do you care to explain this to the court? Just how did you know that the weapon was a clock? Well, isn't it obvious? I saw the clock before. What store? What's it again? Oh, I go to so many. Oops, I forgot. Wink. So the witness had heard it before. That would make sense. Does the defense have any objections, Mr. Wright? Yes, I do. The witness claims has seen it before, but this directly contradicts the piece of evidence already submitted to this court. Well then, let's see it. Please produce this evidence that will prove the witness has not seen the clock before. It's of course made by Larry Butts. It's simple. The clock was never in any store ever. What? A friend of mine made that clock. Only two exist in the world. And the one that isn't in police custody? Impossible. Everything is sold in stores. Miss May, I think it's high time you went shopping for a better excuse. Oh, excuse is not on sale today? Oh. What's it to you, porcupine head? This stupid clock doesn't matter, okay? She did it, and she should die for it. Die! Whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is a court of law, and the witness will remain calm. Okay. Oh, ho, silly me, grunt. Did I, lose it? I guess I did, tee-hee, wink. Scary. Miss May, let me ask. How'd you know that weapon was a clock? dear. Does the defense have any opinion on this behavior? Okay, here it is. Yes, Your Honor. Allow me to explain the truth of the matter. Miss April May, you knew the clock was a weapon because you heard about it. The witness had never heard the clock in her hand, never held the clock in her hand. However, she heard that it was a clock. She heard? That is correct, Your Honor. There's no other way she could have known the thinker was a clock. And I can show you the proof. Well, this is interesting. Let's see it then. Show me the evidence proving the witness had heard. The witness had heard the murder weapon was a clock. Oh yes, the wiretap. I have a look at this. Oh, that? Heh. I found this in Miss May's room. Order. Mr. Wright, please explain to the court what this is. Miss April May, you were tapping the victim, Miss Faye's phone, were you not? Oh. Your Honor, this is irrelevant. I'm not entirely sure it is. Objection overruled. It troubles me that a witness is in possession of a wiretap. This is outrageous. Does the defense truly claim the witness was tapping her phone? Absolutely. Even if that is the case, which it is not, you still have to prove one thing. Did the victim ever say the weapon was a clock on the phone? Can you prove that? I think not. Oh yeah? I think I can. It's simple. What? Here's my proof. Proof that the victim said on the phone the weapon was a clock is her cell phone. I present the defendant's cell phone. Yes, we've seen that. Listen to it once more, the conversation between the defendant and the victim. Mia, what's up? You haven't called in a while. Well, actually, there's something I want you to hold on for me. Again? What's it this time? It's a clock. It was made to look like a statue, the thinker. It tells you the time. Miss April May, you used the wiretap to listen to this conversation. That's how you knew the thinker was a clock. Am I wrong?
Objection!
Your Honor, this is ridiculous. Your Honor, look at the witness's face. Does she seem amused to you? The defense demands an answer. Witness, please answer the question. Did you tap her phone? Miss May, shut up, all of you. What gives you the right to talk to me like that? You lawyer. It's no fair. All of you ganging up on me like that. Oh, so I'm the bad girl. Is that it? Is that it? That did it. The court's seen the real Miss April May now. Now to deal the final blow. Why the wiretap? Why did you tap her phone? Answer the question. Do I have to? Isn't this a murder trial? Isn't this tippity tapping or irrelevant? Gah, she's saying exactly what Edgeworth wants her to say. Miss May, you were tapping the victim's phone. I hardly call that irrelevant. Well, the court does not condone the defense's tone of speech. He has a point. Well, Miss May, do you have an explanation for the court? Can you prove you had nothing to do with this murder, even though you tapped her phone? Ha! I like to see her pull that off. Mr. Lawyer, I saw that evil grin. You were probably thinking like, I'd like to see her pull that off, weren't you? Damn, she's good. Well, you're not the first man who's thought that. And of course, I can and will. You can't be serious, no way. Way, I say, way, oh, and I assure you this is serious, or I'm serious, Mr. Lawyer. Okay, so the killing happened around, 9 o'clock at night. Well, that's just when I was getting room service from the sweet bellboy. Room service? Iced coffee, I believe it was. Iced coffee, you know, like normal coffee, but cold. If you don't drink it quick, the ice melts and you have regular coffee. Iced coffee. I think I'm making this up. Just ask the bellboy. Wink. Ergo, the witnesses went out the scene at the time of the murder. So, what does this leave us? It's my great displeasure to inform you that the witness appears to have been tapping the victim's telephone. However, that is a separate crime with no bearing on this current case whatsoever. Her testimony stands. She saw the defendant, Maya Fey, commit murder. No, they're gonna let her just walk away? There's no way I can win unless I tie Miss Fey to the murder, or Miss May to the murder somehow. Does the defense have anything to say? Well, come on, think of something. Call the bellboy in as a witness. The defense would like to call the hotel bellboy as a witness. There's something suspicious here, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I think you've sunken quite low enough already. I object to calling the bellboy. Why? What's your reason? Because I hold that the wiretapping had nothing to do with the killing. However, if you agree to one condition, I'll consent to calling this witness. Condition? If Miss April May alibi is not called into question after you examine the bellboy, then you will recognize that April May was not the killer, thus is innocent. Therefore, you must accept the verdict of guilty for Miss Maya Fey. That is my condition. Well, I better find something suspicious in that bellboy's testimony. Otherwise, Maya will be declared guilty on the spot. What should I do? Accept it. Alright, I've got nothing to lose. Well, except for everything. Understood, I accept your condition. Fool. You fell right into my trap. Uh-oh. Wait. Very well. The court calls the hotel bellboy to the stand. I believe we're ready for the witness to testify. He certainly does look like a bellboy. That he does. I like how everybody only has one set of clothing all the time in this game. Yes, sir. I received your summons in the middle of work, sir. Happy to be of service. The tea set looks heavy, so without further ado, the witness may begin his testimony. Yeah, did he really have to bring the tea set with him? Very good, sir. Miss May's room service. I am the head bellboy of the fine Gatewater Hotel, business for 4 generations. I received a call after 8 this evening from our guest, Miss May. She asked for iced coffee to be brought to her at 9 on the dot, sir. I brought it to her precisely at precisely the requested time, of course, and I delivered the iced coffee to our guest, Miss May herself. I see. The defense may begin the cross-examination. Right, I'm ready, I hope. This is it. I can't prove Miss May was involved with the murder somehow. Maya will be finished. Miss May's room service. Excuse me. What exactly is it that you do at the hotel? Why, anything required of me, sir. I check on guests, I check out guests, I clean rooms, I make beds. I even deliver room service, sir. I checked on Miss May. I checked Miss May in personally. Are you always so prim? Mr. Wright, you will refrain from asking frivolous questions. I believe we received a call after 8 in the morning, or 8 in the evening, from our guest, Miss May. Are you sure it was Miss May on the phone? Absolutely, sir. How can you be so certain? I checked Miss May in personally, sir. Not only did I see her in all her stunning radiance, but I also heard her voice. Then I saw them. The point being, I remembered her quite well, sir. Yes, what then? She asked for iced coffee to be brought to her at 9 on the dot, sir. 9 on the dot, you say? Yes, I confirmed the deliveries. I confirmed that detail several times. She was watching a program on the TV and wished to drink after she finished, sir. 9 at the time of the murder. I brought it to her at precisely the requested time. Precisely 9, then. Precisely, exactly, and most definitely, sir. How can you be so sure? Miss May was quite insistent it be brought then. Oh, bellboy, tee-hee, I'd like an iced coffee at exactly 9. Something like that, sir. Therefore, I knocked on her door at the crack of 9, sir. Why would you be so particular about the time? And I delivered the iced coffee to Miss May herself. Are you sure it was Miss April May herself? Absolutely, sir. Absolutely? Yes, sir. As in, so very absolutely, sir. It's an endearing mannerism of mine. How come you're so very certain? Oh, well, when I brought the room service, sir, the guest, sir, favored me with the embarrasseur, sir. Embarrasseur? Is that French for embrace? Or embrasseur? It's French for kiss, sir. Not like a French kiss, sir. More of like a peg on the cheek. Why would she have done that? I believe perhaps she was momentarily swayed by my prim demeanor, sir. It was a moment I shall never, ever forget, sir. Sounds pretty fishy to me. I think Miss May was up to something and wanted the bellboy to remember her. No good. There's nothing there. Is that it? Tisk tisk. Finally, you understand. The bellboy had absolutely no reason to lie. Now, if you have any decency, you'll end this rather tedious cross-examination here. It was a bit tedious. The witness may leave the stand. I can't let this happen, can I? Protest! Wait, please, wait! Yes, sir, does the defense have something to add? One last question. Let me ask one last question. Your Honor, I must object. This charade of justice has gone on, long enough. Now, Mr. Edgeworth. Alright, Mr. Wright, I give you one more question, that's all. Okay, this is it. This is really my last chance. What do I ask him about? Can't remember what I'm supposed to ask. What's the check-in? Tell me about the check-in. Tell me when you checked in Miss May. Oh, alright, very well, sir. First thought that she was beautiful. Beautiful person. She's just my type of girl. So it was a disappointment, really? I see. Excuse me? What exactly was a disappointment? Well, I am not without charm, sir, but I think I'd have, even I'd have little chance with her lover there. What did he say? What did you just say? Ah, oh, rather, quite. Bellboy, tell us the truth now. Did Miss May check in with another person?
Objection!
I object. That was objectionable. Objection overruled. The witness will answer the question. Yes, I see. Why did you not mention this in your testimony? Well, sir, you didn't ask. Nice try. That's the sort of thing you're normally supposed to mention. Yes, quite, but indeed. It was her good barnister there, Mr. Edgeworth, who asked me not to mention unless I was specifically asked, sir. Ugh. You fool! I've done it. I've won. Miss April May checked into the twin room with a man, correct? Yes, sir. Then, when you brought them room service, you didn't see that man in the room? That's right, sir. Your Honor, we have just learned of another person involved who may have been the murderer. This is new light. I hold it's impossible to judge the defendant. You agree, Mr. Edgeworth? Who is this other person? Simple. It was... the man who checked in with Miss May. Your Honor, as has been previously revealed, Miss May was tapping the victim's phone, yet Miss May herself has an alibi at the time of the murder. However, that does not clear the man who was with her. The bellboy saw no one else in the room at the time of the murder. My, what a convenient little setup, but it's too late. Too late. I suppose you'd like it if it was too late, wouldn't you? After all, it was you who hid the presence of the other man from this court. Upstart, amateur. These accusations are ludicrous. Enough. The court acknowledges the defense's argument. I expect the prosecution and the defense to look into the matter fully. Am I understood? Yes. Yes, Your Honor. That is all for today. That is all today for the trial of Miss Fay. The court is adjourned. Bring down the gavel. Yes. Mr. Wright, you were amazing in there. Really? I think I might be your newest fan. Oh, I was just doing my job, you know. But then again, the other attorney was pretty cool too. Huh? That face of his, with his eyes wide open and his trembling lips, sent shivers down my spine. If you say so. So what happens with me? Do I get to go home now? Well, no. I don't think so. Not yet. Oh, I see. But I got a great lead in today's trial. A lead? The man who was with Miss Fay. He's the key. Oh, I get it. What happened to Miss May after that anyway? I heard they arrested her. I guess she's learned. I guess she's learning her charms won't work everywhere. She's probably at the detention center right now. I may have to go down there later. Anyway, this case is far from closed. Yes, sir. I'm gonna find out more about this man. Do you think he was the one who... Maybe so. Sis, don't worry. I'll find him tomorrow. I promise. I'm counting on you. I asked for a full record of April May's testimony. I thought it might come in handy during the trial tomorrow. But now that I have it, I'm not so sure. Most of her testimony was all lies. In fact, there's only one part that got left on the record. What was the part left on the record? Just to make sure. The victim dodged an attack, then ran to the right, but she was caught and struck. I don't know how much good this will do me now. Anyway, time to hit the pavement and do some investigating. Maya doesn't belong in that detention center, and it's up to me to get her free. Whew, that was long. That took a long time. But there we go. We've cleared part 1 of this trial. There's 2 parts of this case. Hopefully next time I'll actually be able to figure out my logistics and we'll get some voice actors for the next part. But until that time, this has been Joseph Visaranovic Stalin signing off for now, and I certainly hope you have enjoyed our Phoenix Wright Let's Play.